Thanks to an overwhelming majority vote in a poll I did on the channel, I'm back at the Gaster Eggs series. For the uninitiated or anyone who's just forgotten over the last few years, stuff in this video isn't Gaster specific. I'm kind of just riffing off of Easter eggs. It's one letter different. It's just play on words. This is secrets, references, Easter eggs, and other missable details through this series. But I'm kind of making these videos live alongside you. There are plenty of things I'm able to find myself and plenty of things I'm not. So the most exciting stuff is probably going to happen in the first few videos. And as we're working through it, discovering things together, they'll get more niche and more granular. And at the end, I'll recut and recompile everything into one of those massive long compilations. But what better way to start one of these videos than with the literal egg that you can find in Chapter 3. We don't know if the man behind the tree is Gaster, but it would be very satisfying if after the fact Gaster Eggs became a very fitting title. Toby decided to go a little nuts with the egg hunting in Chapter 3. It is so much more difficult to find than any of the previous ones or even Chapter 4's. So bear with me, it takes a minute to set this one up. When we reach the area that is filled with TV screens and has the various quizzes, heading down towards the bottom left, you can see there is one TV screen that is more green than yellow. This opens up a secret door for a bonus zone. There's a whole goofy scene that plays out here. These Pippins are robbing Tenna blind. What the? My secret bonus zone! We can see an icy van getting robbed. Hey! What's wrong with me having the car? They weren't gonna win it. I was just giving it a daily test drive, checking on that sweet breeze. Which seems to be directly quoting Spamton. Back in the Spamton-Neo fight, there was a bit of flavor text. Spamton feels the sweet breeze as he takes a ride around town. Alright, you little rip-off artists. You think you can take my cookies? Might I remind you, you signed a little television contract? This isn't their contract. Where the heck are their contracts? Fine, you think I care? Of course not, not at all. Because I've got something you guys will never have. Something big, something very secret. These chests just have points in them, and the big chest just has a Pippin in it who runs away. It is the next room we're interested in that has this wardrobe in the middle. It's a suspicious drawer. Open it? Yes. Huh? This is... Damn, Tenna's coming. Split. What? How did this... I don't know what this is. Tenna, is that yours? It's a shame. Who knew he was into this stuff? Gross. So, I saved one. What's the big deal? Everyone does it. Come on, don't act like you've never had one before. Come on! Okay. At which point, we can pick it up. Peepus was added to your inventory. To which Ralsei and Susie simply say, why? A certain person's special question mark cannot be used in battle. If you had previously defeated Spamton Neo by cutting his wires, you are gifted the Deal Maker. And if you go to this scene with the Deal Maker in your inventory... Huh? This is... Damn, Tenna's coming. Split! What the? How did this get out here? My secret. No! Everyone's gonna know It's over. I'm at my limit. If only anyone was here for me. I'd even take that little mailman. Suddenly, the Deal Maker came out of your inventory. Trash heap. You kept it. You really do care. What the? What the mama me mama what me mama hey that's my whoa mama hey mama what the mama whoa hey heck whoa Mr. Heck mama whoa what the yeah, whoa what's the blah blah blah. How the what the mama what the heck what's the mama mia what's mama whoa what the heck is that thing? Some kind of rat? Some kind of creature? Don't you recognize? Stay away from her, you fiend. Oh, my little darling, are you okay? Did that overly small, weird, unidentifiable thing hurt you? Don't worry, you're gonna go someplace safe. Chris, I'm never doing that again. Dealmaker, return to your inventory. Okay, no need to look in here anymore. And there's nothing further off to the side. While we're fully off track anyways, I want to tell you guys about Heroes of the Seven Islands, an upcoming game being published by Two Left Thumbs. This is a party-based open-world CRPG with entirely hand-drawn art being scanned in and colored to make up the characters, the backgrounds, of everything in this game. It's full of charm, very silly, entirely family friendly. If you think you might at all be interested, there is a demo over on Steam currently sitting at 100% positive. There will be links down below, check that out, let us know what you think, and be sure to give it a wish list. That is absolutely the way you could most help us out right now. The game should be releasing later this fall. I'll remind you later on in the video. Now let's get back on track to being off track, and we can go from there. There's obviously a lot of unrelated stuff here. Simply visiting and opening that wardrobe is the first step for finding the secret egg. I just want to be clear about what the actual requirement is there. You do not actually need the deal maker. And one more little diversion while we're looking at these secret green doors. Down to the bottom right, there is another one of these green screens that again has a secret behind it. It's a moral choice. Love or hate. If you choose love, they give a little smooch, and love wins. If you leave and come back, you can reset it. Hate. Hate wins. But we can't actually talk to Golden Sam about it, that's all. Again, going through this door, choosing love, hate, that has nothing to do with the egg. It just felt weird to put the second green TV interaction anywhere else. So, wardrobe first for the secret egg, carrying on from there. In one of the first of these red carpet areas, if you head to the upper right of this, there's the ability to claim the various Lancer controllers. Advance to the next carpeted area, through the quizzes down to the bottom left. We have the digging puzzle. Start playing the game, select Lancer. This can be solved in as little as 4 digs. Go to the top left, down 1 row to the far left, then to the far right, then down in the bottom left. First, we solve this puzzle by getting Susie to move 1 block and Ralsei to turn into another. From here, we are throwing the block into the space between the weeds. There will be no indication that you've done anything here, that's just what you have to do. Push through towards the end of the chapter after the rules card fight and everyone abandoning Tenna, until we get to this open boardwalk in a blackened background. Anytime we hear these winds howling, it's gonna make me think of the black wind that's heard in Undertale after the genocide route. I think anytime Toby drops out the music to use that instead, it's significant. Head down through this towards this spotlight and purposefully get caught. Here, this zapper will accuse us of cheating. You's a cheater, ain't ya? And say, yes, you are a cheater. Now, honestly, that'll take you somewhere. Where you headed? And tell it nowhere. Yous was already heading that way, weren't you, Chris? Which turns everything off and drops us in a new room. Chris, all done? Good. I hadn't arranged the way back yet. Push forward through this to a new game. When connecting to this one, it's as simple as getting this blue block in place. This opens up the bridge for us. Pressing the button opens up a new path in the main world. Pushing forward through here, we have one of these book wizards. Mumble, mumble, fumble, fumble. He hardly seems comprehensible. You must hop into the game with him. Mumble, mumble. Where could this be? Nowhere? Mumble? No, this is somewhere. Mumble, this old tome admires your inquisitiveness. Mumble, you're very interested in going nowhere, aren't you? Mumble, well, I have a ticket there. Yes, I have a ticket there. Mumble, mumble, a ticket to nowhere. Mumble, mumble, but the ticket is somewhere. Mumble, mumble, yes, it was left here. It was left here by... Mumble, oh, I don't seem to remember. Mumble, mumble, you are alone, are you? Good. It's not a good idea to go nowhere with somebody else. Mumble, mumble, alone is better. I only have one ticket after all. Where is it? Mumble, mumble, that's right. It's in the wardrobe. Why don't you head over to the right, Mumble? From there, we head to the next screen over. There's not actually anything to do or interact with there. We come back. Mumble, that's odd. I thought it was in the wardrobe. Then, interacting with that, you looked in the wardrobe. Alas, the wardrobe was empty. Mumble, mumble, what? You can't find the ticket? Odd, quite odd, considering you've been holding it from the moment you stepped in the room. Mumble, 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 mumble. From here we can leave. We've exhausted the end of that. Mumble, mumble. You know, it's quite hard to understand you sometimes. Perhaps you should try speaking up. Which is both a joke on the fact that this character is always mumbling, but also the idea of Chris and the player wrestling to share and use Chris's voice. This is a bit of encouragement for Chris to speak up and perhaps overcome that. And now inside our key items we have the trip ticket, a ticket to nowhere. It shows a map pointing to the left of a red X. Chris, what's that ticket? Never mind. Hurry, or Mr. Tenna's gonna get mad. And we're dropped off back where we started. Make your way up to the snowy back of the green room so that we can use the quick access door. Head to Golden Sand. Make our way past this, up through this door, to the room filled with trash cans. We specifically want this one that has the Ribic inside. When going to act, Crocon X has changed to now have a red X, and as the ticket tells us, we hold left and we can see our heart walk off. Escaped. And we're transported to an area that, other than these few Rudins, looks very much like the 4-shade palette of the original Game Boy, which can be thought of as being green scale. Welcome to Man Country. It's a man's world. Oh, Chris, what are you doing here? Did you come here to play with us? Chris never wants to play. Boo-hoo. Why don't you photocopy a Chris to play with us? Chris, you look rather big. Have you been working out? I guess you grew up. Well, stop that. Copies are monochrome, but you colored each of us in with care. Maybe the pink ace was suspicious. Off to the left, welcome to Forgotten Island. This island is a World Heritage Site. Non-men are A-OK too. Someone else is using these. Chris, someone was looking for you, though I don't remember who. Did you try behind the tree? We are the 7 Flying Aces. To cheat at cards, you copied 7 aces. It didn't work well. We got lost in the couch and ended up here. There aren't 7? Well, you named us. If you were good at counting cards, you wouldn't have needed to cheat. And it's not a very overt thing, but a flying ace is a military term, which refers to an aviator credited with 5 or more aerial kills in combat. Heading up from there, there's a big building with these columns here. We can't go past them. We go up and through, and we finally have our tree for this chapter. It can't be interacted with. Same as usual, we go behind. Well, spring changed to summer, and summer changed to cold. And sure enough, I am the forgotten man. Will you forget me too? Now, very specifically, do not say yes. Don't confirm that you will forget the man, or else you will be cut off and unable to obtain the egg. If you say yes, Who are you talking to? And just like that, there is no longer a man here. No. Are you sure? You have forgotten me many times before. Even if you meet me, I will be forgotten thereafter. Sometimes, I even forget myself. I ask again, will you forget me? Yes? Who are you talking to? Same result. No. You'll remember me? Well, in that case, forget about it. I am just a man. Listen well to my story. Once upon a time, the whole world looked like this. Do you think so? From here, your answers don't seem to matter. So for saying no to everything. No, of course not. It's just a story after all. Now, let me continue. If you say yes, you do think so. Really? You believe something so absurd? I'm happy to hear it. Let me continue. And it carries on. Well, the world changed. Society was developed. The earth was covered in water. Dinosaurs appeared. An ice age. Actually, there are still dinosaurs. Is it mixed up? In any case, this island is the only place left I can talk. Do you understand what I'm saying? No. That's funny. I don't understand it either. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now saying yes. Funny, I haven't the faintest clue what it all means. But one day, this island will disappear too. We may not meet again in that case. Did you want to meet again? No. Well, I'm starting to realize why I was forgotten. Well, there is not a man here. Did you want to meet again? Yes. Oh, joy. I'll tell you my schedule. Listen carefully. On Thursday, I go to sell donuts. On Friday, I toss the leftovers in the dumpster. On Saturday, I let it cool on the windowsill. On Sunday, I harvest the wheat. Hold your breath, head to the left, and count backwards to 100. Did you remember to write that down? Yes. How very kind of you. Please take this to remember me. No. Well, it seems you are already forgetting. Please, take this to remember me. Chris received the egg. Although, you may lose it in another day. So be sure to put it somewhere. There's no shame in an egg. Either yes or no, you're told you are very opinionated. I like you. You may forget me, I may forget myself, but I will remember your kindness. Now, this island will disappear soon. You must depart. If you will it, we shall meet again at that place. Whether 11 hours or 11 years, Deltarune will be waiting. So interestingly, somewhere written as two separate words, whereas the lead-ins to this were always written somewhere, nowhere, one word. And here, Deltarune gets written as one word, much like the game we're playing. Whereas when it comes up in the world itself in reference to the symbol, it's usually written with a space, Deltarune. So take your time, wash your face, and get dressed. Well, there is not a man here. Once you have the egg, Chris's status is updated to enjoying the youthful days. And we now have another egg. Not too important, not too unimportant. Now, the previous two chapters have ended in the light world and given you an opportunity to place the egg somewhere. The first one went in Asgore's fridge, the second one goes in Sans' shop. But the third chapter ends without revisiting the light world. If you've been stressing out trying to figure out what to do with this chapter 3 egg, don't worry about it. There is no requirement here, no hidden interaction that you've been missing. It's something that instead carries forward to the 4th chapter. I will address it in a video covering all things related to chapter 4. With that, we've completed one of the most convoluted secrets Toby has ever put into these games. I don't even really know how anyone found these secrets in the first 2 chapters. I have no idea how people found this one. I've typically found about 30 minutes to be a pretty comfortable length for these videos, and we're already over half of that just doing this one thing. The next thing I want to show is a lot simpler and just kind of goofier overall. Little bit of a vibe shift. There's all sorts of alternate dialogue depending on what you enter as your name. Thankfully there's a save just before this so I could test as many as possible. If you take too long, we aren't even to the quiz first question yet, folks. Just to show the default one, I've started entering GRA for Graham. But quickly I want to show there is actually a missing letter in this third space. You can't enter G at all, meaning you can't submit either egg or WDG, which people had tried for WD Gaster. Every other letter seems available in every other space, so avoiding probably those two specific things seems intentional. Ralsei and Susie have their introduction. After Susie inputs ass, Tenna comments on the censors coming after him, only on this show because they weren't blue enough for the splurfs, which blue can mean profane or indecent. So ass would be considered blue language. And the splurfs is obviously a play on the Smurfs, little cartoon characters who themselves are entirely physically blue. Pretty simple play on words there. But now that the Smurfs are like pushing 70 years old, I don't know how well known they are. And a default response for any name for Chris: hey, hopefully someday you can learn how to spell your own name too. If you start to spell out Chris, well, don't cry until the ending, folks. If you instead drop the I and do KRS, curse, I told you, no cursing or the censors will kill me. If you do either Ral or Seuss, well, this is gonna get confusing, isn't it, folks? If you just go with AAA, they're already screaming from delight, folks. Now, if you squeeze a little something past the censors the same way Susie did, ass, bum, butt with one T, tit. Chris, knew I could count on you. If you do poo or pee, uh-oh, a no word, good thing our parental controls are installed. It forces you to redo it. If you insist and enter either of those a second time, your name gets changed to bad. But then this still leads to that default response about learning to spell your own name. And I believe that is every unique response from setting your name. While that third G is never available, there are others that get cut off depending on what you enter in the first two spaces. For example, if you start with FU, then both C and K are entirely missing. And here's a quick look at other bad word third letter cutoffs. You can actually hack the game to force one of those inputs. Susie will laugh, and Tenna will cut to a technical difficulties screen, and your name will be forcibly changed to fun. We've had bits of unused dialogue from the last two chapters. Someone describing being lost in some space that's entirely dark. And now with chapter 3, what is this place anyway? How did I get here? As if I haven't asked that question a billion times already. I always did have that nightmare, walking into the darkness, with the light shining from the doorway. Then the door slams behind me, and everything goes black. Is this that nightmare? Or was everything else a dream? Assumptions had long been made that they were lost in a dark world. The slamming of the door seemingly confirms that. Still, plenty of unanswered questions. And how about a bit more tonal whiplash? There are various random things you can achieve with the ball machine, so let's mess around with that for a minute. There are all sorts of basic items and a few armors and things. I'm not going to go over those. It's nothing you can't find elsewhere in the chapter. You can commonly win 50, 100, or 200 points, and there's kind of a gag one in a golden capsule that gives you 101 points. But hey, I don't want to knock it. That single point is straight profit. Although once you reach this point in the cycle, you do just get this one over and over again. You have to leave the room to reset it. One of the gold results gives you the Tenna tie. This is an armor, a giant heavy-duty bulletproof tie. How to even wear it? You can get the blue ribbon, a blue cheer bow. When the user uses a healing move, it recovers slightly more HP. When equipping it on and off of Ralsei, he'll start spelling things out. Give me a K, give me an R, I, S, give me an ampersand, S, U, S, I, E, give me an A, R, E, M, Y, F, R, I, E, N, D, S. Chris and Susie are my friends. There's something in this white capsule. It's fuzzy, it's fluffy. Did you get an item or not? We have Toby's little self-insert annoying dog. And upon seeing Toby, he also gives you a dog dollar, an item we're able to retrieve elsewhere in the game. A dollar with a certain dog on it, its value decreases each chapter. You got a golden Tenna statue. Anyone call dibs? Guess it can go in your room? And very squishily, a Lancer pops out. Ho ho ho, I'm an item! Lancer was added to your key items. Ho ho ho, enjoy my presence for a single room. You can actually end up with multiple Lancers? The best thing about me is that I'm the only one. Now, with 3 Lancers, it still reads the same thing. You can get fortunes from this machine. Several of them have known significance. Other ones we kinda don't know what we don't know. They might just be intentionally fully random and silly. So I'll start with those ones. You received a fortune. It's good you're spending points on this. They are good for anything else. Just poking fun at our light bit of gambling addiction on display playing with this machine. Another fortune, don't let your guard down. That chair is going to kick your ass. Fortune, there are no weapons in the game. Kids and adults can enjoy alike. Looks like a dog slobbered on it. So I guess, as the annoying dog was bouncing around in there, managed to drool on a couple of these balls. The aqua spirits trapped in the coolers are beautiful and, best of all, recyclable. Chris felt a feeling of deja vu. However, the handwriting was illegible. Chris felt a feeling of deja vu. Back all the way at the secret lab of Undertale, you can't read the symbols they're written in. Or maybe it's just the handwriting, which people have long been speculating is a reference to the Wingdings font. With many symbols being written in hands, and the idea that W.D. Gaster could be Wingdings Aster, I'm assuming this isn't the first time you've heard these things if you've watched other videos of mine, but I still feel a need to quickly make that connection here. And several of them come together to give you a hint on how to find the secret egg, but they are just incredibly vague. Mumble mumble, 2 puzzles are connected. Sometimes you should take the spotlight if it heads your way. Don't be a coward. You'll croak before you can find the X. Signed, the Mad Croaker. A musical island postcard from the Flying Aces. It's encouraging you to visit, but the music gets old fast. And one final fortune to set up the overall secret tied to this ball machine. I thought it would be kind of a cool note to end things on. Huh? There was some sort of triangle inside. Chris returned it to the machine. We all know how much Toby likes to make use of recurring numbers throughout the series. The latest significant one is 1225. This would represent December 25th, inserting that number of points into this machine, at which point the music cuts, everything goes blue. You are now in the room by yourself, and a door has opened in the front. Everything slowly fades to black. And we are now in an entirely unique area. There aren't actually boundaries in this area. You can walk literally anywhere. There also isn't really an end to it. If you go all the way to one side of the screen, you end up looping back around. So it's best to stick to the paths when exploring to try and actually find anything. If you head down towards the bottom, which is a tad meaningless when things are looping back around, but you can push through over to the left, and way off to the side, we have a small blue version of this machine. You use the machine. The capsule came out. Inside was something hard, like lacquer. It was a small, dark triangle. You tried to take it, but it slipped through your hand, and you couldn't find it anymore. You couldn't find your hand. It fades to black, we're kicked out of the room, and the ball machine is gone. When we leave, we're back with our party, and the machine stays gone, which calls to mind the scene from a previous chapter when looking through one of the shadow crystals, that for a moment you could see through your hand. In my Snowgrave video, I mentioned that I might someday have to make a video entirely on eyes. I think at this point, it needs to be on eyes, smiles, and hands. Those three things are among the most recurring bits of imagery we've had in this series, and seemingly none of them have really been paid off yet. As I'm closing up this first of what will likely be many of these Gaster Eggs videos tackling 2 chapters at once, first, go wishlist Heroes of the Seven Islands, check out the demo. We really want to know what you think of it. And throwing us a wishlist does help a lot. And I thought you might all appreciate, or at least have a laugh at, this old clip I wanted to share. Is this a prequel to Undertale? I'm just going to cut that off right there, put a cap on it, and say I am not a strong authority figure on anything Undertale. I played through the game, I loved it, I had a lot of fun, but I don't know the game in and out well enough to speculate a whole ton. But yeah, I plan to take this game very much at face value, enjoy the humor in it, the silliness. I want to take it at a casual pace, exploring every corner of interest, interacting with everything that I possibly can. It's going to be pretty chill, pretty relaxed, and I'm not going to throw around crazy wild speculations about why things are happening, how it ties into the larger game, but I do appreciate that there are suddenly going to be like infinite, these are really weird little doodads, infinite amounts of ways that these can be speculated and tied together with Undertale and stuff, and I'm really looking forward to watching other people's videos on that. I do just want to be honest that that won't be me. So if you're here for that, then I'd recommend watching someone else's. If you're here to just hang out, have a laugh, and enjoy the game as is, then yeah, this might be for you. 6.5 years ago, when the original Deltarune came out, I only had a Let's Play channel. Despite having only played through Undertale once at the time, I got swept up in the hype and immediately recorded a series playing through that first chapter. I recently rewatched it, and I don't know if I really recommend it. I think I was trying too hard to riff on like every single interaction. I still enjoyed parts of it, but it was weird to go back to. But there were so many interesting little details, both found while playing and seen around the community after, which led me down a path to making this separate channel and becoming someone who does go crazy in depth with these games. I just couldn't help but laugh at that and thought you guys might find it funny as well. How the times have changed. I'll leave it there for now. I'll do another video like this on Chapter 4, and then I'll just start jumping around and covering things as they come up. I have no plan beyond that. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave some comments about cool details in the game you want to see talked about, and I hope to see you again soon.